This could be good for me. Lately I was feeling like I need a purpose.
Welcome, welcome, beautiful women. I'm just taking a moment to settle myself and get set up for this beautiful solstice journey that I'm excited to share with you this evening. It's going to be a really gentle ritual and one that will meet you wherever you're at, depending on how much energy you have and whether or not you are celebrating the winter or the summer solstice, depending on which hemisphere you're in. So I'm just going to take a little moment to get myself fully set up, and I invite you to do the same. There are a few things that will help this evening be more enriched and kind of ritualistic if you have a few extra things you can bring into your sacred space. 2 empty bowls, 4 candles, or maybe more, a bottle of water, and your writing journal and pen. And if you've got them, some pieces of just cut up paper, little pieces of paper. So they're just a few of the things that are going to help enrich this experience this evening. And I invite you just to take a moment to get yourself settled in, get your space all organized. And I'm going to do the same. So it'll just be another minute or two just while I get myself fully set up and ready. So I want to begin by talking just briefly about the solstice energy, because we as humanity have really become disconnected from ourselves, from our own bodies, from our own cyclic rhythm. But probably more importantly, the thing we're really seeing in a heart-aching way at the moment is the disconnection between us and the earth, between us and those elemental forces that make us living, breathing, existing beings. And so when we turn our attention towards these cyclic solstice or points on our calendar, we're opening up awareness of these changes that happen both inside of us and in our environment. And that is something that most of us don't need to look far. You know, we can see the changes happening. We can see the changes of the trees in winter, the leaves changing color and falling. And in summer, we can feel the longer days. The sun is there and our days are long and full. So we can see a lot of the qualities of the seasons, but when we take the time to really connect in with ceremony and ritual in this way, to notice how those changes are happening on the inside, and to really harness those midpoints, those astronomical points, to be able to set intention, to harness that energy, and really lean into this idea that we are co-creating life with an abundance of unseen forces and a whole lot of seen forces, those which are guiding us, supporting us, informing us, that are just there constantly holding us when we need it the most. So ritual in this way is really about coming into that place, that connection, that place of reverence. And when we move from that place, we cultivate magic. We really, we draw forth, we magnetize. Our energy and our frequency lightens, becomes higher, and we begin to draw towards us all that is in that higher vibrational realm. So we really are evolutionizing our experience of life simply by honoring these turning points, these seasonal points where inner change is happening, and doing it with the most intention that we can. So that's my invitation for us this evening, is to connect in to those unseen forces that not only are supporting us, but they make us living, breathing, existing beings. In this world, we have all of this AI technology. We are able to clone entire body parts, but we're still not able to create that same divine spark that gives us as humans life. Now that, to me, that is the magic. That is the part that we're not supposed to be able to make happen. That is already happening, and it's a gift that we receive. So by tapping into that, by really honoring all of these little unseen magical qualities that make us whole, that give us life, when we honor them, when we celebrate them, we become more unified, more connected. And we're gonna journey with that. So we're gonna tap into that. We're gonna do some journaling, and we're gonna do it with some ritualistic practices using fire and candles and obviously and water. So this is the invitation. When you're ready, having your space set up, if you already have, that's awesome. If not, taking a moment to perhaps pause the video, come back when you have a little space ready for yourself. I've got mine all sitting out in front so that you can see, but you could work in this ritual three-dimensionally, in that you can work facing each of the major directions, north, south, east, and west. I'll leave it to you. I really invite you to make this as dynamic as it can be for your body, for your energy levels, for the environment that you're in. So feel into that. Get yourself all settled in a position. We're going to take a little moment just to arrive and really connect in. Now you might like to do this standing. If you have a good amount of space around you, I recommend it. If you are feeling energized, I recommend that. And if you are otherwise, like me, feeling the call to be grounded, really deeply rooted at my base, you can also do this seated. So I just trust you to feel into what you need the most. And when you're ready, if it feels right, I'm inviting you just to soften your eyes. Perhaps that means putting your device somewhere where you can see without and hear, but without needing to hold it. But soften your eyes a little, soften your gaze. You may like to have your eyes open, but just bringing awareness and focus into one particular thing. And starting to turn awareness in, turning your attention inward with your breath. And perhaps if it feels right for you, you may like to close your eyes completely and just surrender a little into the darkness. Breathing yourself into yourself. And letting that breath draw you in and down. Following the breath all the way from as it comes in, through your nose, through your mouth. Following it down through the top of the lungs, the expanse of your chest, your diaphragm, all the way down into your lower belly. Taking your hands there if it feels right, I invite you to bring your hands to your lower tummy, palms facing your belly. Breathing into your lower belly, feeling that gentle swelling, soft belly as you breathe in. Releasing down as you breathe out. And this beautiful practice that I offer this evening is one that I've shared in this circle before, so it may be familiar to you. This was taught to me by a kahuna, a Hawaiian kahuna that I trained under. And this is a practice that I was taught to do before any healing work, so that I could invoke the qualities of the elements and unseen forces. So breathing into your lower belly, acknowledging this place of seated power within you. You may refer to it as the Dantian, the Hara, the Muladhara. Just feeling into this place of centering energy within you. And then we're going to move into a very gentle, soft movement practice. where we call in the elements and we start to cultivate our inner energy. So taking the arms out to the sides, up and overhead, reaching towards the sky, tips of the fingers expanding, imagining as if there was kind of threads pulling from the tips of your fingers all the way up towards the sky. And here we're drawing in the qualities of fire. This is the sun in its purest, most vital form. It's the light of the stars and their burning gas planets. It's the reflection of the sun in the moon. So no matter what time of day you're doing this practice, we're connecting into those qualities of fire, whatever they resonate for you. But that sense of vitality, of vibrance, of electrifying aliveness. And we're drawing that in through the tips of our fingers. You may even like to imagine like lightning bolts from the sky coming down through each of the fingertips into the palms of your hands. As you begin to draw that energy in, closing your hands into fists, taking your fists down, 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 either side of your body, placing your fists on your lower tummy and breathing in the qualities of fire. As you exhale, releasing down into your connection with the earth. As we begin to cultivate and invoke these energies, we will have an abundance filling our cup, so we can allow the overflow of that energy to down into the earth, gifting back some energy and life force to the planet. And now softening the hands, taking the arms out to either side at about a 45-degree angle, palms facing forward. Here we're calling in the qualities of air. You may even imagine that your arms are like the limbs of a tree, just gently swaying in the breeze, breathing in and releasing air, flowing. And that idea of whatever air is as a quality to you, perhaps it's that energy that helps to blow through, cleansing the fogginess of the mind. Perhaps it's the kind of energy that helps to get things done in your life. Perhaps it's the kind of energy that just helps to purify you. Whatever it is that you connect to when you think of those qualities of air, the transparency, the effortless breath, the breath of life. Breathe all of those qualities in, take them in through each of your fingertips. Draw those energies into your palms. Bring your hands into fists and come down, bringing the fists onto the lower tummy. Breathing in all those qualities of air, all that supporting energy that helps to purify and cleanse you. And as your cup overfills, just let that energy release down into the earth as you exhale. Beautiful. And taking the hands now out to either side at shoulder height, palms facing down. Here we're calling in and invoking the qualities of water. So you may like to soften your arms a little bit and perhaps imagine that your arms are just floating on the surface of a lake or a river or the ocean, perhaps even a bath. Just imagine that sensation of fluidness all around you. What does it feel like when you are invoked by the qualities of water? How does that soften you? How does that feel in your being? How does it support you? Call in those qualities of water. Feel them in your body. Imagine them with your mind's eye. Really bring full awareness into the essence of water. Perhaps even thinking about it physically, your blood, you're pumping through your body. Just touching in on the element of water and how it serves you, how it supports you. In through the tips of each of your fingers, into the palms, drawing that energy in and closing your fists, bringing your fists down to your lower belly, breathing those qualities into your energy center, and releasing down to the earth with your exhale. Beautiful. And taking your hands out to either side, palms facing forward, fingertips reaching down towards the earth. Here we're calling in and invoking the qualities of earth. So imagine, perhaps if it feels right, that the tips of your fingers are the roots of trees. They're reaching down into the rich, fertile soil, drawing up energy, sustenance, everything you need to feel supported by the earth. Really center in on those qualities of the earth that do support you, and how do they serve you. You may be feeling into that sense of being anchored and grounded, or stable and solid, feeling sustained and nourished. Whatever qualities are there, draw them up through your fingertips. Draw them into your palms of your hands. Bring your palms into a fist and draw that energy up and into your lower tummy. Breathe in. Breathe in those qualities of earth, of deep centering and connection, and release down and out with your exhale. Beautiful. And then taking your left hand now, reaching it forward as if you're doing a backstroke, swimming backstroke with your left hand. Here we face the palm out, and we're calling in very slowly all of the qualities of the plant realm, from the air that we breathe of the trees to all the vegetables that we eat and fruits, thinking about maybe even the medicines that the plant realms gift us to heal ourselves, bringing all of that in, closing our fists as we draw that energy into our lower belly, breathing that in, releasing down and out with your exhale. Beautiful. And then with your right hand reaching forward, turning the palm out and away from you. And here we're doing the same kind of backstroke, drawing the hand up towards the sky. Slowly we're calling in all of the support and acknowledging with gratitude the animal realm, the four-legged, the two-legged, the finned, the furred, the feathered, all of these divine beings that support us, help us in this life, befriend us, drawing all those qualities in, into your fist, taking that down to your lower tummy. Breathing in with deep gratitude, all of that support, acknowledging how much we receive from the animal realm. Taking that quality, letting it fill your being as you inhale, releasing down as you exhale. Now taking your right hand and bringing it up to your left shoulder, your left hand up to your right shoulder. Feeling in this embrace all of the support from every being that has been before us, from our ancestors, from our genealogical lines, from all of the humans who have paved the way and come before us. Acknowledging their wisdom, acknowledging their suffering, acknowledging all that they journeyed with, all that has led us to be here right now in this body. Honoring all who are yet to be born, honoring every single human who walks this earth right now. Here we're embracing humanity in all its forms, welcoming that, honoring that, the shadow and the light. And then bringing our hands one in front of the other over the heart and feeling into the center of ourselves. Perhaps you like to tilt your chin down, turn your face towards your heart, bringing into awareness your uniqueness, your one-of-a-kind energy. Your soul gifts, all that you have to give to this world, all that you were birthed into this world for. All that you have been, all that you are, and all that you are becoming. And if it feels right, you may like to lift the edges of your lips into a soft smile, smiling and bowing to this divine being that you are, unique in every way, shape, and form, and at the same time, at one with every one of these other qualities. Breathing into that awareness, filling the heart, expanding into that energy, drawing it into your being, and then releasing down with the exhale as your cup is filling and overflowing. And now taking the hands to either side, dropping them down, and then scooping them up all the way up over the top of your head, drawing in all of the mana, all of the life force, the power, acknowledging every single quality that gives you life, that supports you, bringing your hands down, slowly down through the center of your being, bringing them all the way down until you can rest them again on your lower belly. And breathing in to that sense of wellness, that sense of unity when you acknowledge that you are every one of these things. You are the air, you are the fire, you are the water and the earth. You are one with the plant realm, one with the animal realm. And you are the bridge between that which has been, that which is, and that which is yet to be born. Breathing in to all of that mana, all of that wisdom and power. Filling your cup and then exhaling, letting anything excess flow down into the earth, releasing down. Now, if it feels right, if you're standing, even if you're sitting, you may like to have a little shake here, soft shake of the hands, of the head and shoulders, maybe a little bounce in the knees if you're standing. Amazing amounts of energy that we're calling forth into our beings. Just giving that some space to move through us. And breathing, resting a little, softening down into the space beneath. Beautiful. So I want to expand into a gentle ritual process that is going to open up some self-inquiry, an opportunity to really harness the energy of solstice as a portal for evolution, of inner change. To do that, I want to draw awareness into the 4 cardinal directions, how they support us. So there are a few ways you can do this. The invitation is, if you have got 4 candles, each of those candles will represent one of the cardinal directions. I can be a little geographically challenged at times. Fortunately, I'm in a place right now where I know where I am. If you don't exactly know where north, south, east, and west are, that's okay. You can simply acknowledge them by north being where you're facing forward, south being behind you, east is to your right, and west to your left. But if you are a little more geographically in tune and you can align your candles with those directions, I invite you to do so. You may do that on the table in front of you. You may do it on the space around you. So you mark out with a candle in front, behind, to either side. Either way, we're going to be leaning into the support of these cardinal directions And there's many ways that these energies support us. In my experience, it's as if when we start to fully acknowledge these cardinal points, it helps us to navigate our own internal compass. It's almost like there's something on all sides of us that we can just kind of roll and bounce off and into. So I offer up this practice and this inquiry, knowing that there are so many ways that we can feel into the support of these directions. And the more work you do with these cardinal directions, the more you will start to build your own cosmology, build your own reference for what this compass looks like, feels like, and represents for you. So we're going to begin with our candle facing the south. So depending on where you are, just checking in, putting that candle in a place that resonates the most for you. And if you've got a pack of matches or a lighter, we're going to begin by lighting the candle facing the south. So here we are invoking the energy of the south. We are acknowledging it by bringing light into the space, but we're also welcoming the energy of the south. It's like, come, warm yourself by our fire. So in your own way, in your own time, we're lighting, maybe or maybe not, we're lighting the candle on the south, and we're beginning to open up to all of the light, to all that supports us in this life. So once that candle is lit, we're softening our gaze and just staring into that flame for a moment. You may like to have your journal and pen here, ready to go. And just as you soften your gaze and watch the dancing flame, I invite you to feel into all of the resources that are supporting you in your life. There may be people, opportunities, it may be your environment. This is the perfect opportunity right now to feel into gratitude for all that is supporting you, to give it a name. So the invitation now is just to take a moment with your journal and to just write at least 5 things that you are deeply grateful for in your life right now. It may be things, it may be people, it may be circumstances, it might be your job, a pet. It may be something materialistic that's helping you in your life, that's making things easier for you right now. It may be your health and wellness. Whatever it is, I invite you to list at least 5. You can go with plenty more if that feels right. I am grateful for. So once you've taken a moment to list at least 5, you may have done a few more, especially if there's a lot in your life right now that feels like it's at the forefront, supporting you. And just breathing in that reverence, that respect, that love, and that pool of gratitude for all that is supporting you right now. Welcoming that light into your life. When we see and acknowledge gratitude in this way, it allows us to open up to even more support, even more magic. So resting into the support of the South, the resources that support us, both practically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all that helps us to stand strong in this world and find our center. All that helps us to survive in this world. Breathing in gratitude and releasing any excess gratitude back out into the world in ripples. Beautiful. And now we're going to lean into the support of the West. So if you are working cardinally, align yourself and your candle with the direction of West. If you're not quite sure, then you could place a candle to the left of a circle in front of you or to the left-hand side of you. Here we are lighting a candle to acknowledge the West as a supporting influence in our lives, helping us to purify, helping us to shed our skin, helping us to let go and surrender. When we turn to face the West, we are facing the direction where the sun sets. So it's this idea of energy setting, energy passing away, energy expiring, evolving, becoming something new. It's also the energy of the night, of the dark, of the shadow realm. So as we light a candle to acknowledge the East, we are opening up our sacred space to the support of being able to see in the dark, find our way through our shadows, to be able to find the gold in our shadows. This is also about softening those layers and guards that we put up around our heart to protect ourselves, those qualities that may have at some point protected us and kept us safe, but may now be holding us back from experiencing more love, divine love in our lives. So we light the candle acknowledging this time or this energy that supports us in evolving, this energy that helps us to bring things to a completion or a closure so that they can evolve into something new. So lighting that candle to the West with deep intention to honor your transformational journey. Just taking a moment to gaze into that candle, softening your eyes, feeling into any thoughts that you are aware of that perhaps are limiting your perception of yourself or the world. Starting to open up awareness of the aspects of you that are ready to be shared. Perhaps they're old ways of thinking, old ways of behaving. Perhaps they're patterns that have just been on a loop of repeat, and now you can see them for what they are and invite them to evolve and change. As we start to become aware of this shadow realm, It's an invitation now to take your bottle of water. We're going to hold that bottle of water and take a moment with gratitude, filling our cups, to bless this water, to call on the purifying qualities of the West, the ones that help us to cleanse ourselves, to shed our skins, to renew and transform. We're going to put all of that energy into this water. Fill it with so much love, so much light. Whatever qualities are there for you that you want to bless this water with, do so. And then when you're ready, we're going to pour the water into our empty bowl. Now I've gone so far as to add some crystals to my bowl, but you can just have water. I invite you to enrich and embellish this ritual as much as you like. And if you don't have any of these things, that's perfect too. So with our bowl of water, rich and full with intention to purify and cleanse, and our candle lit to honor the light and the gold within our shadow, the invitation now is to take those small pieces of paper that you've come prepared with, and with your pen, write down 1, 2, 3 of the qualities, the aspects, the behaviors, the thoughts that you are ready to transform. Perhaps they're qualities you've already begun transforming and they just need to be named in this ritual and given space to be transformed. So we'll begin with just one sheet of paper, and you can write whatever you want on this piece of paper, but inevitably, once we've written it, we're going to be using the power of fire in its transformational qualities. Fire is, every one of the elements is a form of alchemy, but fire is one of my favorites as an alchemist, to take something and transform it, give it a new, completely new shape and form. So we take that quality, that behavior, that thought, whatever it is that we are ready to shed, transform, integrate. We write it on the piece of paper and then we burn it. And once it's burnt, we drop it into the water. So we're going to do that for at least 2 or 3 things that we are aware of in our lives, that we either want to give power to, give energy to in its transformational journey, or the things that we may already have consciously let go of, but we really want to name them using ritual and intention in this way. So I'll let you do that. Take your time. This is a moment for you to really lean into the qualities of ritual that can support your intentions for transformation. And if I can suggest, again, I'm really inviting you to create this ritual in your own way, but if I can suggest just taking a moment to bow, to be grateful for, to really honor the learnings that have come from this behavior, this thought, this aspect of yourself. For a period of time in your life, it has served you, and it may not serve the way forward, but just take a moment to honor it for all that it has gifted you before you are ready to transform it. And you may want to let go of it before it fully burns. I've made quite a mess in the past doing this practice. And then allowing it just to drop into the water. Feeling that alchemical process as you watch it. And imagining that alchemical process happening within you right now. So if you have more than one, as I say, you may like to do 2 or 3. Just take a moment now to do that. So I invite you to take as much time as you need now, and this may be something you need a bit of time for, really to be with each of these qualities, to really rest into them, honor them. So if you need a bit more time, please feel free to pause. I know that may delay things for those of you with me live, but I really want you to honor this as your own ritual process, as your own celebration and journey. So take as much time as you need. Really honor what that inner calling is for right now. So taking a full breath in and perhaps an audible sigh out. Softening the heart, softening the space around the heart. Breathing into the gratitude for the support we have in this life, for all that helps us to become aware of our shadows, for all that helps us to fully see and embrace those parts of ourselves that we may not really like or find attractive, but that we can transform, that we can shed and become something new. Such a powerful, powerful thing, one worth great qualities of gratitude and honor and respect. So just taking a moment to really bow into the support that you're receiving right now by all of this astronomical energy, by the qualities of the West that are helping you to continue transforming and evolving. Perhaps offering up a little blessing if you have one, just a whisper of thanks. Thank you. Out into the universe. Beautiful. So now we're getting ready to turn towards the north. So just allow yourself, in whatever space you're in, to create that placement, whether it's in front of you or in the geographical place of north, placing your candle there, getting ready to take your match. And here we're calling in the divine spark that is our soul's expression. This is how I like to think of it. It's our creativity, it's our passion, it's that rising energy that gives us the spark and the motivation to do anything in life. So we're opening up to that awareness. We're feeling into what we're most passionate about right now. We're feeling into all the things that bring us some form of pleasure in this life. Now, I know I've had plenty of moments where I've just been lost. I don't know what I'm passionate about. And I know times where I've felt numb and not even connected to pleasure. So I really honor that we're all at very different places in the spectrum when we feel into the qualities of pleasure and passion and that creative spark of expression that lifts us up. I want to bring it back to one of the most simplest ways that we can connect to it, and that is, what gives you energy? What gives you energy in your life right now? Feel into that. And this is what is supporting us when we face the north. We're facing this rising energy, this kundalini, this fire, this spark, this motivation, momentum. So as we feel into that, I mean, you can hear it in my voice, there's an aliveness there, a vibrance. Feel into those qualities as you light the candle of the north. And call them in. Awaken them, give life to them. Breathe into them. Oh, sorry, darling. Bagheera, my beautiful cat, does not like me lighting matches. I'm going to have to do it a little differently for the next one. Sorry, darling. So breathing in all the things that make you passionate, all the things that gift you pleasure right now, all of the ways that you express yourself through your body, through your language, through your sense of touch and sight and smell and taste. Taste is a big one. What beautiful foods bring you pleasure, ignite that energy within. Feel into all of these things. You may like to take your pen and in your journal, write down at least 5 things that are inspiring you right now, that are firing you up, that are lighting you up from the inside. Take a moment just to really honor them, name them in this space when it's intentional. The power of written word, spoken word is really unbelievably magical. So writing down at least 5 things that are inspiring you right now. I got a little bit excited there and I wrote a few more than 5, but I feel like if there is passion in your life right now, it is worth celebrating. So take the time you need right now to honor all of that magic, all of that inspiration, all of that rising energy. And if you were finding it challenging to think of anything at all, then just keep it super, super simple. It could be that you have a really comfortable pillow that you love to sleep on and that brings you joy. It could be that you are enjoying having such beautiful, delicious food to start your day. Who knows? It could just be your 1 cup of coffee is the thing that gives you passion and pleasure all in one. Just name those things, small or big. Really acknowledge them. They play such a vital part in what moves us, both physically and on our human level, but also on our spiritual soul level as well. Beautiful. So I want to invite you now just to take a moment to breathe into that. Breathe into those qualities. Breathe in and expand into those qualities. So perhaps there's a particular thing that's rising in you that you are just wanting to really yes, thank you, thank you. Thank you for gifting me these opportunities. Thank you for gifting me these eyes that can see so much beauty in the world right now. Thank you for allowing me to be intimate or connected, whatever it is. Take a moment right now to feel it alive in your being and give gratitude for it. Breathe into it. Breathe into that gratitude, and then exhale. Let the overflow release down into the earth. Let it ripple out into the world around us. So needed right now. Beautiful. So now we are going to turn towards the east. So the east will either be geographically east to you, place your candle there, or it will be to the right of you, kind of leaning into the right as a support. And as you prepare your match or your light, I want you to start feeling into the energy of the rising sun, of the dawn, the start of a new day, the opportunity for a new beginning, to reset and start again. Feel into what that represents to you. And when I think about the rising sun, the first glimmers of dawn on the horizon, I think about the times where I've sat on a mountaintop and watched the sun rise. And before that happens, it's like there's these undefined colors and shadows that are there. That's all I can see. And then even just as the wisp of sunlight starts to come, before the sun even breaks the surface on the horizon, the sky starts to lighten. And with every passing moment, it's like another detail appears in the landscape in front. Something that was just a murky shadow becomes a tree, and that dark patch over there becomes the fold of a mountain that rolls down into a river. It's like the details of the landscape become more and more vivid and alive. And that is the qualities that I resonate when I think about being supported by the East. It's being supported by a quality of perspective that is both clear seeing and big picture. It helps us to be able to step back and look at things from an expansive point of view. We're not caught up in the little things. We're back here appreciating the expanse of magical tapestry of life that is kind of weaving together as we weave it and making its way in this process of appearing to us. So much is already in motion, but we only get to see it when we get to see it. So it's this idea that when we lean into the qualities of the East, we're opening up to a perspective that helps us to see all that's there on the horizon. So we're going to light our candle feeling into that sense of clarity, of big pictured awareness, of spaciousness. And we're going to light our candle honoring that. I'm going to not light mine that way so I don't upset Bagheera. Okay, sweetheart. Beautiful. And just softening your gaze into that light, feeling those qualities of the East dancing in the flame, and starting to turn your awareness towards the bigger picture of your life. Now, one of the beautiful things about ritual space is there is absolutely no limitations. So my invitation now is to really feel into the expanse of what is possible. If you could dream the biggest possible dream for yourself right now, what would that be? What would it look like? What would your life look like? What would you look like? What would your relationships look like? If you could dream the biggest possibilities for yourself right now, what would that look like? What would it sound like? What would it feel like? Probably most importantly, what would it feel like to be living those dreams, to be experiencing them? So I like to invite you to take your pen and paper, and in this little expression, this moment of expression, I want you to really feel into that limitless potential. If you were to dream the biggest dream right now, what would it be? What would it look like? How would it feel? And so you may find, like I did just now, that actually some of those dreams I already have, but I just want to cultivate a fuller experience of them. So just really honor what is there for you. And if it's a completely out there new possibility, something that is so different to what you're currently living, let's name that, own that. You are in the place of co-creating right now. So if you need a little more time, I invite you to just pause, but there is the opportunity here to really expand out into the possibilities. And when we think about the solstices, we're talking about the solar cycle. So we're looking at the energy of the sun as it begins now for us in the southern hemisphere. It begins to grow with winter solstice. So as of tomorrow and the days after, the days will get longer and longer and longer, and the sun will become fuller and fuller, which means we'll be rising with a waxing energy right the way up until we reach the summer solstice in the middle of summer. And then we begin a slow waning cycle as the energy descends back down into winter. So if we think about our biggest, hairiest, audacious dreams that we can dream of, I want you now just to think about one thing in particular that you would like to cultivate as your energy begins to rise towards the summer. What do you want to put that energy towards? And take a moment to just quickly write something down. What is it that you want to use your energy for in this next solar cycle? Beautiful. So again, you can take as much time as you like with all of these inquiries, and you can come back and do them for longer or pause, or really encouraging you to really create what you need right now in this ritual. So the last little part of this ritual, and I didn't say it on the original invitation, but is to have an extra bowl. So take a moment, if you can now, to go and fetch an empty bowl. Any bowl. It doesn't have to be a pretty bowl, just an empty bowl. Take a moment to do that now. I'm just going to have a little sip of my cuppa and get my empty bowl ready. So once you have an empty bowl, I'd like you to pick that bowl up and hold it in front of yourself. There's two things that we're going to use this bowl for. But before we do, I want to honor that this bowl represents the unknown, this vast, empty, unknown reality that we live in. So firstly, I want to acknowledge that in any dream that we hold the intention for, we bring it to life with our thoughts, we bring it to life with our intentions, we bring it to life through the power of our words. And we also need to honor that this journey is a co-created one, and we just don't know what is going to happen. Sometimes the universe has even bigger, more miraculous dreams than we could even imagine for ourselves. So once we really feel into a dream or a vision for our lives, the next thing we do after setting the intention for them is we let them go. We rest them into the pool of the unknown, knowing that everything we do in this life is co-created. It's well in action before we even realize it. And we can trust in that process. So the invitation is now is just to bring to mind that big, beautiful dream that you are holding with the softest of hands and intentions. Breathe into it, breathe into the vision, breathe into the sound, breathe into how it feels to imagine yourself living all of that. Breathe into that intention and if you like, whisper, may it be so. And as you whisper that, let it fall into the bowl of the unknown. So trust whatever process is there. It may be a visual process. You may imagine something flowing out of you into the bowl. You may energetically imagine a releasing of something in there, in just whatever's there, but let it pour out into the bowl. Let it rest in the unknown, and let it be known that whatever may come, you will be ready to greet. Just setting those intentions and then pouring your intentions and your dreams into the pool, into the bowl of the unknown. Trusting that the universe has heard you and knowing that the universe has already got something magical in store for you. Beautiful. Taking a nice breath in and releasing down and out with the exhale. So the last thing that we're going to use the energy of this bowl of the unknown is to really honor that we do not know what is next. We do not know what is going to happen in the future. We won't know. And for many of us, there are things that we worry about that our brilliant minds want to understand. They want to navigate. They want to know the how-tos and the whens. But in reality, we will never really know until it's happening. So the invitation now is just to take a moment to feel into and think about any of those worries that you have for things that you will never know. Pour them out into the bowl. Let them go. Let those worries be in the pool of the unknown. Because it doesn't matter how much you think about it or which angle you come at it from. You will never really know until it's happening. So let this empty bowl hold those worries for you. Oh, well, I realize that I have a few more worries than I really knew. I could probably sit here for a little while longer, but for now, and for the sake of keeping things moving, I'm going to let those worries rest. And I'm going to place the bowl down Now, my invitation is that once we have finished this ritual, you may like to take that bowl and complete some kind of cleansing ritual with it, acknowledging that it is holding an immense amount of energy on your behalf. You may want to smudge it or sing into it, oh, make a sound into it, something that will break up any dense energy that's left in that bowl, especially if it's a bowl you eat out of. But for now, we can just place it to the side and let it be. Give thanks. This is another moment to give thanks. How fortunate we are to be able to just trust in the universe, trust in this really magical, unknown path that we are walking, that for most of us continues to provide a place to sleep, food to eat, water to drink. Our basic needs, human needs, are tended for in this very privileged part of the world that we live in. And that is the blessing of this path that is unknown, is that we will always be provided for, and anything else is a bonus. So that, with that said, I wanted to take a little minute now just to cast a blessing or a prayer or a hope out into the world. What is it that you really hope for? And this is something that I'd love for you to share in the comments, because I feel like when we put our words to our hopes, others can feel them and be inspired by them, but we also give power to our hopes. And your hopes may be something for yourself personally. They may be hopes that you're holding for others, a friend, a family member, or you may expand right out into your hopes for humanity and your hopes for this planet. We are at an unbelievable time to be alive, to be seeing what we're seeing in this world, to be experiencing what we're experiencing as human beings on this planet. What are your hopes for the future, for humans? What are your hopes for the planet? Feel into that. You may want to write a few in your journal, maybe share one or two in the comments. I really invite us to use the energy of this solstice and use the power of these rituals where we are fully invoked with the mana, with the life force energy, using that, wielding that power with integrity and from that place of sacred connection. And when we're in space like this, where we have women on either side of us right now and alive, we have people here, women, beautiful women. I can see both of you there on either side of me. And those coming in on the replay, the time is not linear, so we are all still here as one big group of women. And when you have more than one person, the energy we cultivate is exponential. So when we put our hopes out into the world right now, it's supercharged, not only because of this portal of solstice, but because we're doing it as a collective. We are raising up an energetic circle and then rippling that out into the world. So my greatest hope right now in this world is that we as humans come to remember that we are not separate. We are one. Our body is the earth's body. The earth's body is our body. Everything we do, we say, and we think affects this great earth. It affects every other being on this planet because we are not separate. I hope, my deepest hope is that we remember this. We remember this in whatever way we need to remember it, whether it's a jolting, shocking, horrific life experience, or whether it's one of those blissful awakening moments. I just want as many humans in this world to remember that we are not separate. Because if we all remembered that, imagine how differently we would be living, the different choices we would be making. That is my hope. And I do welcome you to share your hope in the comments, because my heart will lift to know that we are sending ripples of energy like this out into the world, powerful ripples. That's one of the biggest intentions I have for this circle and the work that we do here together. So, if you're still with me, and I see a few of you here live, bless you, thank you. I do encourage you to share your thoughts, your hopes, and any love or emojis that you can in the comments. And of course, I feel like the best way to finish this will be a song. You're getting to know me better now, and that's one of the things I love the most, is to raise energy up, to raise our voices up, whether we can sing or not. I think one of the greatest journeys for women in this world right now, and part of this new paradigm, is for us to find our voices. So for me, I will encourage you to sing, even if it's out of tune, and to sing words that have got power. So what are we going to sing? I don't know. One of my favorite solstice songs, especially for the winter solstice, but any solstice, given that it's a solar journey and we're talking about the invoking of the light and the sun, is a really simple song that I almost want to guarantee you'll know. It's "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." It's super simple. They're the only words, and you would probably have heard it, maybe even as a child watching stuff as a kid. I don't know, but I'm sure you will have heard it. So if it's appropriate for you to be able to sing along with me wherever you are, please join your voice with mine. And if it's not, you can hum along and bop along, but know that we are letting our lights shine. This is what this inner work is all about. I am seeing hearts galore beaming out right now, and it's making my heart that's me just warming up my vocal cords, but that's what my heart sounded like in that little moment. So thank you. All right, so letting our voices lift up together. I can go through it once and you can join me, or just join me. Welcome either way. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Join me. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And if you're not grooving, please, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Ah, yes. Finishing on that note feels absolutely perfect. I just want to say, I just want to feed back one of the beautiful hopes that's been put into the space. The wish is to be a catalyst, open-heartedness, lightness, laughter, compassion, so loved that and that you so love this beautiful session. Yes, blessings to that. But let's just come back to those beautiful words. A catalyst for open-heartedness, lightness, laughter, and compassion. Yes, please. More of that in the world, please. Well, beautiful women, it's always an honor to be here with you. I'm so grateful that you could join me live. And for those of you coming in on the replay, bless you. It's such an honor to be in this circle and to have these opportunities to really honor the sacred and do this beautiful inner work together. Just blessed we are. I'm overflowing with gratitude. So be sure to share your hopes in the comments, any other little bubbles of bits or joy or wisdom that come up through this experience. And know that I am holding you all with the softest of hands and love as we move into this next cycle of the solar journey, wherever you are in the world. May you meet that sun and meet that light within, shining bright. Blessings, beautiful one, and so much love.